This is a big opportunity for the Spurs tonight. The Spurs continue to finish the back end of this regular season as they prepare to take on the Sacramento Kings, coming off of a huge career night for Devin Vassell. This game is big because it's a chance for the Spurs to stack wins on a nice little stretch as they finish out this season. We're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about the things to look for as we take on the Sacramento Kings tonight. What's good, Spurs Digest family? I am Bryan Colbert here with another Spurs Digest pre-game show. We are coming off of a win, and I'm expecting another win tonight. We're going to talk about how we do that. We're going to talk about how we get it done and what these next stretch of games means for the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs family, before we go any further, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're on the way 6K. You got us there in less than a season, and we appreciate y'all so much. We're going to be giving y'all phenomenal content because it's all about the Spurs. And I think, like I said in the last video, if you checked it out, go check it out. There is reason to be excited if you are a Spurs fan. Even if you're hoping your Spurs team loses the rest of these games, there are still reasons to watch these basketball games. There is still meaningful basketball to be played. So let's get right into it. My first key of this game, of course, is no other than Devin Vassell. Vassell looked amazing in the last game. And in our last video a couple days ago, I made sure to show him a lot of love. And I saw in the comments, there was a lot of inconsistent talk going on. People say that Dev has just not been consistent. People saying that Dev has just not been someone you can rely on to have these big games. Yes, he has these big games, but then right after he has these weak games, these are the things that you guys were saying, and we hear you guys, we saw them, but to me, I think it's time for Dev to those. Sky was trying to get healthy, he was trying to get comfortable. A lot of guys like Jeremy Sochan had a really low game after having two strong games. These guys are trying to get healthy. They're trying to build chemistry, and I think tonight is a huge night for Devin Vassell to show that his big night game was not fluke, that he can do stuff, and 37 points efficient, 37 points. I think it's going to be huge for Devin Vassell. And I think the team doesn't really have anybody that can lock him up, doesn't really have anybody that can slow him down, but it does have some guys with some firepower, and it's going to be a huge game for Devin Vassell because, again, everybody is looking at his team and wondering what these pieces are going to stay around Wemby. Which of these pieces do we need to keep? Which of these pieces do we need to trade? I think Devin Vassell is the number one person we have to look at and decide, okay, do we want to keep paying him this money because he's going to fit so well with Fox and Wemby, or is it time to make a change? Because Dev's position as that 3-and-D guy, but also as that like third star, it's paramount. It's huge for this team. So I'm very excited to see what Devin Vassell can tonight in this game, and again, show why he's a part of the future of this team. Another guy I'm looking at, that guy with that green hair. I don't even know what green hair he's going to be rocking, what color hair he's going to be rocking tonight. But Jeremy Sochan, I mentioned him a little bit earlier. Only 2 points, 1 for 4. Not the best game. But again, Jeremy Sochan's impact is made through everything but the box score, right? Like you see the way he's able to just galvanize the team, the way he's able to defend guys, the way he's able to be an irritant. Oh, man, I love it. I love how he's able to get under the opposing team's best player's skin. To me, Jeremy Sochan is another guy we're going to be looking at tonight because I want to see more consistency out of him. He's another person that I personally think is part of the future of this team. When you look at Denver Nuggets, right, and you look at a Jokic, and you see how Aaron Gordon just fits so perfectly next to Jokic, I truly feel Jeremy Sochan is that player that fits perfectly next to Wembanyama when he is playing the 5. To me, Jeremy Sochan does all of the things you want a player next to Wemby can do. He can stretch the floor at times. He rebounds. He plays defense. He hustles. He does the dirty work. I want to see him have a strong game tonight, come out, reemerge. And again, this is another guy where, you guys want to talk about inconsistency, but think about these guys' roles. Dev and Jeremy's role has been inconsistent. Not because of anything wrong, but just because of new players coming in. Harrison Barnes and Chris Paul really, you have to start those guys. Then you have injuries and you have all of these things. These guys are bona fide starters in the NBA, and they're just trying to figure out their roles. So these are two guys that I think it's going to be a huge game for. Also think it's going to be a huge game for my guy, Stephon Castle. I think every game this season is must watch because of Castle, because we are starting to see who this kid really is. We got a glimpse of it in the All-Star weekend. We got a huge glimpse of it all season, really, but this kid is a star. This kid is not scared of the moment, and this kid is the future. So now we talk about Fox and Wemby. We know they're locked up. Then I bring up Devin. Then I bring up Jeremy. Then I bring up Castle. These guys could really be the starting unit for the Spurs team next year. And now that Wemby is not able to play, these guys are getting looks, minutes, and asked to do things that they would not be asked to do if Wemby wasn't there. But I love it. I love it because we need these guys to be able to show what they can do. And Castle, to all of us, has just been exceptional. What a gem. What an amazing pick. Honestly, could be Rookie of the Year. Should be Rookie of the Year. Another guy I want to see have a great game tonight because really, if we keeping it a buck, tonight's game, it's really all about De'Aaron Fox going up against his old squad. And we've seen it this season, right? We have seen De'Aaron Fox trying to get comfortable as he, becomes the face and star of this team. Because, yes, Wemby is the face of this team. He might be the face of the NBA, but Fox is as well. When you think of the San Antonio Spurs, you're going to be thinking about De'Aaron Fox for a really long time. That's why they traded for him. That's why they brought him in here. De'Aaron Fox is going up against his old team, and it's a very interesting dynamic between him and the Kings, so I'm excited to see how he comes out and play. I'm excited to see how the Kings come out and play. Sabonis is out. Charles Bassey is out on our end, but they do have Valanciunas now. They have some bigs, so it's going to be a battle. How can Fox make up for our lack of size, right? Biyombo looked great last game, but we understand the depth at big man for the Spurs is lacking. It's something that's going to have to be addressed before anything else, right? That is the number one thing you want to address. You want to get some other big man in here. That's not the case right now. Sacramento has a capable big man. We're going to need De'Aaron Fox to be able to ball out tonight. He's going to have to show out. And honestly, I think we might see one of our best games. We know how these players are, man. We know how these players are when a team gets rid of them, when a team trades them. Even if there's no bad blood there, it's meaningful. It means something. And De'Aaron Fox is going to come out here and show why the Kings should have never dreamed of trading him. Think about this. De'Aaron Fox gave the first half, really, of his career to this franchise. He said, I'm going to stick with y'all. I'm going to let y'all bring pieces in, and I'm going to be loyal. That means something to this team, right? That means something to these players. You think Luka didn't feel some type of way playing against Dallas? We know that. I really think, even though it wasn't as weird and ugly as that Lakers-Dallas trade, I still think Fox is always going to have something to prove against his former team, especially the Kings. So he is my last note. I want to see De'Aaron Fox do what De'Aaron Fox does. I am not too worried about the inconsistent slow start of Fox. Man, we know what he's going to come in and do. It's not easy to be traded at the back end of the season like that, especially not really being expected to be let go. So I'm expecting Fox to look really, really good tonight and give us a glimpse of what Spurs fans can see all of next season. Because I think all of these inconsistencies, I do think they stop after this season. I think this team is starting to get an idea of what their identity is going to be, who they're going to be, and who they need. I mean, this team moves the ball so well. They play great defense, man. Once they limit those other little small mistakes, those turnovers, you know what I'm saying, maybe giving up an open shot every now and then, not rotating the correct way. That's young player things. I think all that inconsistency is going to go away. But these games right here, these stretch of games that the Spurs have are so important. Right now they have the Kings, which again, I feel, even with our lack of size, is a winnable game. Then you go against Minnesota, which you don't really know what they're about. But then you have Dallas, Charlotte, and New Orleans. Think about that for a second. Then you have the Lakers and New York and Philly. But think about that for a second. Those are all winnable games for the Spurs, who are currently, 6 places out of the play-in. Now, again, I know people are on tank mode, so don't let me talk too much about the playoffs or the play-in. However, it shows that there's still meaningful basketball to be played for the Spurs. There's still games that they can win and show who they are. And to me, that's what I'm most excited about right now. I truly think this late game is going to be fun. I'm staying up late. I don't know about you guys. I'm on the East Coast right now, so I'm going to be up at 10 p.m. watching this game. But I'm excited because there's things that we still need to look for and see. Because right now it's all about the future. Even before Wemby got hurt, it was still all about the next season, because these things take time. These things take time. When you bring in a star like Fox, it takes time. But I have no doubt it is going to work out, because look at just what the implementation of Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes, really good veterans, but they're not Fox. You know what I mean? They're aging veterans. But look at what they were able to do with this team, what we were able to see. We were really competing in a lot of games to start this season, and I think we're going to be competing in these next 5 to 6 games. I think it's going to be very exciting, Spurs family. Let us know what you're feeling, man. How are y'all feeling about this stretch right here? Are y'all going to be upset if the Spurs win 5 or 6 straight games? Are y'all going to be upset about that because y'all minds are on taking, or are you going to see that as a big win, not only for Spurs, but for the Spurs fan base and this roster? Because as I keep saying, you want to see these young guys play well. You want to see them be able to contribute to winning basketball. Because even if they're not part of your future plans, that trade value goes up with every single win, with every single 30-point night by Devin Vassell, with every single double-digit scoring effort by Keldon Johnson coming off the bench. Those things matter. So again, I'm locked in. Let us hear from you, Spurs family. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that doorbell to be notified every time we post. I'm not sure if we're getting the post game tonight. The game might be 12, 1 o'clock, but maybe we'll get one tomorrow, man. Stay tuned. Make sure you stay tuned to Spurs Digest. Spurs Digest family, we love y'all so much. Let us know how y'all feeling this game day, baby. I need the vibes, man. I need the energy high. How y'all feeling this game day? The Spurs can get a win tonight, get back-to-back wins. I love seeing that, Spurs family. We will holler at y'all later. This is a Spurs Digest post-game show. I'm Bryan Colbert. Let's get this win over the Sacramento Kings.